Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the habits that I would like to leave in 2024 and no longer associate with. I've been really reflective over my year and really paying attention to like what I do naturally without even thinking about it, and paying attention to like what goals I'm reaching and what I'm not reaching, what's working and what's not working. If you are new to my channel, please go watch my video on how to make goals for 2025. I give a little bit of insight into like how I reflect and how I make my goals for the upcoming year. And I talk about habits and systems. So a lot of the things, or a few of the things I want to talk about does have to do with like habits that I have been doing regularly that have to do with like my productivity and just like being able to reach whatever my goals are. So if you want to learn more about that, continue watching, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. So I have 5 habits, and we all know that habits are things that you do naturally without even thinking about it. It just comes so easy for you to do. It's something that you've done many times, and we all know that it is very hard to break a quote-unquote bad habit. So the first thing is I want to stop buying books before finishing the books that I've already bought. So I did that a lot this year. I think I've only finished maybe like 2 books this year, and I've bought at least like 3 to 4 books. I'm currently reading a book that I haven't read in probably like 2 weeks, and I'm really big on like self-educating and like reading and being intentional with like your knowledge. And I love learning about different things, whether it's mental health, spiritual, physical, financial. I think my favorite book that I've read so far is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I also like to read like books by Colleen Hoover. I've read 2 books by her and I loved it. But with my busy schedule, it's just so hard for me to commit to reading. And it's not really that hard. It's just that I don't make time for it. I make time for other things that I probably shouldn't be making time for, like talking on the phone, scrolling, things like that. So one thing I want to leave in 2024 is to stop buying books before I finish the ones that I already have. So I'm currently in between 2 books. I'm not going to buy a new book for the new year at all in the new year until I finish these books that I have. 1, I'm going to save money. 2, I'm going to actually be intentional with reading what I already have and learning more about whatever the subject is in the book that I'm reading. So that's one of the things that I want to stop doing, and I'm going to stop doing. And I say it's a habit because I've done it multiple times. Like I've continued to buy books despite the fact that I haven't finished the ones that I've already bought. So I'm going to stop doing that. And how I'm going to do that, because we know that we have to replace a bad habit with a new habit, is to just stop buying books, period. I'm going to stop buying books, and I'm going to read the ones that I already have. So the next thing is more of a physical thing, physical health habit, and I'm going to stop allowing other people's food choices affect me or influence me in what I do. So the only time I really have that issue is like when I'm with my boyfriend. He doesn't eat as healthy as I do. He eats healthy, but not on a consistent basis regarding like meal prep. And let's just say he comes home and says like, oh, I think I want Chipotle tonight. I'll usually like go and get Chipotle with him instead of like saying, okay, you go get Chipotle. I'm still going to eat my meal prep, or go ahead and cook whatever it is I'm about to eat for tonight. And that's just because, you know, health is very important to me, and I cannot eat the same things that he eats. It doesn't affect him the same way it affects me. And it's like that for all of us. You may have a friend or family member who can eat all day, and it doesn't affect their weight. It doesn't affect their skin, things like that. But for me, like if I eat too much sugar, too many carbs, it's very easy for me to gain my weight back, and it definitely shows up like in my skin and things like that. So I have to like not allow other people's choices affect me. And that's a habit because it happens at least once a week. And it comes sometimes happens like when I'm with my family back home, like if you know, I go there and they have whatever they have, you know, whatever they're eating, I'll sometimes like indulge with them. And that's okay every now and then, but like if I bring my own food, I obviously had an intention of like not eating out or not eating anything that was unhealthy. So I need to stick to what I brought, you know. But it's different if I go there with the intention of like, you know, I'm just going to enjoy the weekend or enjoy my day, eat whatever they're cooking and call it a day. It's different in that case, but if I'm being intentional because, you know, maybe I just ate out during the week, or maybe this is just a week where I'm like, I don't want to eat out. I want to really be intentional with this week and eat what what I cooked, then that's different. Like, you don't want to go against like your goals and what you had set to do. So that's another thing that I want to leave in 2024, is just to stop letting other people's choices affect me or influence me. And when I say leave this in 2024, I don't mean like as soon as January 1st hit, I'm going to stop doing these things. I just mean that starting now, today is December the 21st, my intention is to really start these habits now and really pay more attention into all the things I'm going to talk about in this video. But it's not just to say like new year, new me. I'm not that type of person. But as I reflect and I look ahead into what I want to do and, you know, what I want to accomplish, I have to, you know, pay attention to some of those smaller habits that we don't think about. So one of the things that I am also being intentional about is my people-pleasing tendencies. I like to say that I am a recovering people pleaser. I don't know if that's like an appropriate thing to say with the whole recovery thing, but it's something that I am trying to get over and I am really trying to like learn more about. I am somebody who seeks to make other people happy, and usually, like I've said in other videos, it's with my family. So one thing I want to stop doing is saying yes to every single favor. If somebody called me right now and they're like, hey, I need you to do this for me, I usually will say yes and just do it. You know, obviously if it's something that's safe in my morals, you know. And then even on a different scale of like when people invite me to on a trip, right? Usually I'll just go ahead and say yes, you know, instead of like actually sitting and think about it and not getting you know, not just being so quick to say yes. And with that, what I want to do is say, hey, thank you for the invite. Let me get back to you in a couple of days, you know, as I look at my schedule, look at my finances, whatever. And then also like maybe if it's something that does need an immediate answer, I say, hold on, let me call you right back, you know, and then I'll get back to you. But when someone calls you in an urgency, which is usually a manipulative thing for people to do, not all the time, but sometimes I do believe that it's a way of like people being manipulative when they call you with like a so-called emergency and it's really not an emergency. They just know that you're going to be in a frantic and it's going to push you to say yes quickly. I want to get away from just being so quick to saying yes, even if it's a so-called emergency. I want to say, hey, give me 1 second. I'm going to call you right back. And just, you know, take a couple of minutes to really think about it and make sure that that's something that you really want to put your time and energy into. You know, we let people suck our energy. We let people bring us into their personal problems. And in certain circumstances, that's okay. But I want to learn how to not be so quick to say yes no matter what it is. You know, hey, let me get back to you on that. Hey, I'll let you know in a couple of days. And like I said, it doesn't just have to be emergency based. It could be like being invited to a trip, or, you know, just different things that people may ask you to do. I'm usually that person that says yes without even thinking about it, even if it's just like a very small like thing that's not an emergency. I'm trying to think of a good example. Someone may ask like, hey, can you go with me here today or tomorrow? And you may say yes just because like at the top of your head, you're like, oh, I don't have anything to do. But then when it's time for that to come up, you're like, you know what? I really should have said no. And I'm pretty sure you all have been in situations where you say yes to something and then when that something comes up, you're like, dang, I really wish I would have said no. And I don't want to put myself in situations where I say yes because I'm like trying to please this person and I know I really didn't want to do it. So that's another thing. Like, I really just want to stop saying yes to things that I genuinely don't want to do, because that just brings bad energy. And honestly, if you're not being genuine with whatever you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. So that's something that I want to stop doing, and I'm being intentional about. One, with that, is just like stop being a people pleaser, but two, not being so quick to say yes to whatever it is people may ask of me. So number 4, I want to stop being on my phone before going to bed. I used to be really good at this, of like putting my phone down around like 8 to 8:30, making sure it's on do not disturb and just like not being on it. But lately, with me being more into my content and being more into being busy at work, you know, having clients early in the morning, planning my classes for early in the morning, things like that, I have been more likely to be on my phone. And because I'm not scrolling throughout my day, like I'm really not on my phone. Like by the time I wake up into like my work day, and then by the time I get home, I haven't even been on social media for real other than posting my content. So lately I've been like coming home, winding down, and then I may scroll on my phone for 20 to 30 minutes or whatever. That's time that I could be reading, being in the Bible, like spending time with God, talking to my partner. Like those are things that I could be doing during that time. But instead, because I'm, missing that little dopamine hit, I'm like going to being on my phone. So that's something that I definitely want to stop doing, is having a hard set deadline of like what time I'm going to get off my phone. And that's also because I don't know if you all know, but like when you are like in the blue light, so you're watching TV, you're in, maybe you're in a bright area, wherever there's light, even if it's at nighttime, your brain is thinking that it's still daylight, and so it's going to be harder for you to go to sleep. And I definitely can feel that. Like it's harder for me to go fall asleep once I get into bed when I'm like fresh off getting on, being on my phone. So I want to definitely pour more into my sleep routine and making sure that I'm getting in quality sleep and not just laying down and resting my eyes. I want to make sure that I'm getting, the best quality of sleep that I can. So getting off my phone at a certain time of day, getting away from my laptop and watching TV by 8 or 8:30, I believe will really help me to have a better sleep routine and have a better night's sleep. So that's something that I also want to leave in 2024. And then also just not being so quick to like scroll on my phone at night too. That's another thing that comes into why I want to make this a new habit and get rid of the old habits. So I think with that, what I need to do is just set a hard deadline for what time I want to get off my phone and, just get away from all electronics, my laptop, the TV. With my work schedule changing here within the next couple of weeks, I definitely think this will be possible. I just have to be intentional about it and create a routine. And then lastly, I want to stop overworking myself. So if you know me, I am a hustler. I love to work. I love to stay busy. I love to be active. And I will pretty much say yes to whatever opportunity. One, because I'm all about my money. I love stacking my bread. I love reaching financial goals. And then with that, I just love to work. And so for me, like I work full time, I have clients, and I teach classes. So I really work Monday through Saturday, because Saturday I teach a class. Sometimes I may have a client on Saturday. Sundays, it's not really a rest day to me because I am cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm reorganizing the house. So I'm really not resting the way that I need to. I believe that, and the Bible even says that we need a rest day. Sunday should be our full rest day. So with my new schedule changing, what I want to do is use my Sundays to actually rest and do all of my cooking and cleaning and things on Mondays. So that is something that I will be doing within the new year with my schedule changing, and I'm very excited about it. But I definitely want to stop overworking myself. I say that this is a habit because my schedule does not look the same every single week. I may pick up a class, I may, train the client an extra day. Things are always changing. I have a lifestyle to where I am an entrepreneur, so I am taking on new things. I do have online clients. So my schedule is kind of all over the place. Every week looks different. So I say that this is a habit because I am quick to take on new opportunities. If my manager asks me like, hey, can you pick up this class? Or, somebody may email me, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Usually I'm quick to say yes, and it's a habit for me out of being in survival mode, out of just, wanting to stay busy and not lay around. And I want to stop doing that. I want to give my body time to rest and reset. That way I can show up being that healthy and restful version of me. So that is something that I definitely want to stop doing. And I'm going to do that by one, my schedule is changing. So that's going to be the greatest thing to help me with this specific habit. But also just reevaluating what I want to accept and what I don't want to accept, and how much I'm really willing to actually take on a week-to-week basis. I want to make sure that I have at least one day a week where I'm able to actually rest. I'm creating a lifestyle where that is possible. A lot of people don't have the luxury where they can say yes or no to certain things, but that's something that I really care about. I really care about living a lifestyle where I'm healthy, I'm restful, and I have some type of work-life balance. And so I want to make sure that I am pouring into that, you know, resting part of it. So I'm just going to make sure that with my schedule, I have at least a day where I am resting. You know, I'm in the bed, I'm laying on the couch. Maybe I do tasks that don't require much of me moving my body, so I may do stuff on my computer, but I'm not doing anything that's requiring me, you know, having to move around, go to the grocery store, things like that, planning my days to where I may have really busy days where I'm grocery shopping, cooking, working, planning, all the things, and then I have a day where I'm just in relaxed mode. So these are just 5 little habits that I am planning to leave behind and really work on so that I can become that best version of me, that highest version of me. There are so many things that we do so easily without even thinking about it, and they really have a huge impact on our mental health, our spiritual health, and our physical health. So I hope you can take some advice from some of the things that I'm doing. And like I said, if you like this video, comment on it and let me know some of the things that you want to let go of and release so that you can become that best version of you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.